We're up to speed on this. Darwin, just to get some things out of the way, Darwin did not discover evolution. People knew about evolution long before that. Darwin came up with the notion of a mechanism for evolution, natural selection, and in fact Darwin isn't the inventor of that. There was another guy, Alfred Russel Wallace, the two of them, and for some reason Wallace has gotten screwed historically and Darwin gets much more attention, but starting off with a Darwinian view of how evolution works. First thing being that there is evolution. Traits in populations change over time. Traits can change enough that, in fact, you will get speciation. New species will form. And the logic of Darwinian evolution is built on just a few couple of very reasonable steps. First one is that there are traits that are heritable. Traits that could be passed on one generation to the next, traits that we now can translate in our modern parlance into traits that are genetic, and we will see soon how that's totally not correct to have said that, but traits that are heritable. The next thing is that there is variability among those traits. There's different ways in which this trait can occur, and they're all heritable. The next critical thing, some versions of those traits are more adaptive than others. Some versions work better for you. For example, giraffe who wind up with hearts the size of like a tomato, that's not an optimal version. Amid the range of variability, some will carry with them more fitness, more adaptiveness than others. And that translates into another soundbite that's got to be gotten rid of. All of this is not about survival of the most adapted, it's about reproduction of something we will come to over and over again. It's about the number of copies of genes you leave in the next generation. So you've got to have traits that are heritable. There's got to be variability in them. Some of those traits are more adaptive than others. Some of those traits make it more likely that that organism passes on copies of its genes into the next generation, and throw those three pieces together, and what you will get is evolution in populations, changing frequencies of traits. And when you throw in one additional piece, which is every now and then the possibility to have a random introduction of a new type of trait in there, modern parlance, a mutation, from that you could begin to get actual large changes in what a population looks like. Okay, so these are the basic building blocks of Darwin, and it is easy to apply it to giraffes' hearts and kidneys of desert rats and everything we think about in the world of physiology, anatomy, in the context of evolution. So